This is a quick video on how to adjust your slide lock and slide retainer pin on your HI-Capa 2011 Black Dragon from WeTech, which is the split slide full auto pistol, and also how to make a minor adjustment to your safety so that it does not come off. Now, let me explain what I mean by does not come off and make adjustments. This one here is a pretty much unused Black Dragon that I have just hand-picked out of about 100 different boxes downstairs to find one that would do it. Now, 99% of them will not have this minor issue. This one is one that has got the issue. So with the hammer back, and it doesn't matter what fire mode it's in, if I push the safety on, I can ever so slightly wiggle this safety and get it to come out. See that? That shouldn't be able to do that. What it essentially means is there's just a slight intolerance in this pin. Somehow, for some reason, these two are not quite close enough together to create the tolerance needed for the little retainer pin here, the spring-loaded pin, to just lock this plate in to the slide, to the frame. To get it back in, as long as you haven't, lost your little pin there, you line up the two holes like this here, and then using something very, very small, you can pry and push the pin here back into place, making sure you don't lose it. So that shouldn't be able to come out like that. Straight off the bat, that shouldn't do it. But it's very, very easy to stop it from doing it. So let me take it back out again, wiggle it until it comes off. So that one came off a little bit easier. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is we have had 3 pistols where this has come off on people when they're shooting. So to make this not come out, it's as simple as add a ever so slight bend downward of this top pin. Now I'm talking probably 0.5 millimeter at most. And that's as simple as just using something like a rubber hammer on a workbench to ever so slightly just tap this top one. You hold it right. I can't even see if it's adjusted, but that may now have added a little bit of friction onto the slide, onto the pin. No, I need to go a little bit more. I've still got a little bit too much wiggle room. The ideal is so that it cannot wiggle up and get up on top of the frame here. So you might be able to see how it's just hopped up onto the slide from the frame. So add a little bit more to that one again. Again, I can't even tell if it's moved or not. You don't know until you try and put it in. See, now I can feel there's a little bit more tension in there. Still can come out though. So let me try them again. You don't want to obviously go too far. You don't want to hit it to the extent of being able to break it or something like that. You want to just work at it gradually until it pops in and can no longer come out. See, we're getting very, very close there. So now I've actually got to kind of force it up and out. So that's all it does take to do it. This one here, as you can see, I've already done it. Once it's up, I cannot twist it enough to get it to ride up over the slide here. See that there? It's retained. I cannot get it out. Of course, without the slide on, it will pop straight out for normal disassembly. So let's try one more go. And there we go. So now, if I try and wiggle it up, I don't know if you're able to see on camera, that I cannot get, oh, yes I can. It needs a fraction more. See, it's tight, but it's half a mil, not even a fraction off. So you get the idea? That's how you retain that one. Now, the other issue that you have can be with any 2011. Now, we've seen this with the early TTIs, Golden Eagles and Black Dragons. Seems to be a generic casting error across pretty much all airsoft-based gel blaster pistols. So normally to take your slide pin out, you push it through from this side. Once you've lined up your half moon, push the pin and out it comes, okay? So what if that pin is able to be pushed without the slide coming back? See that there? I've managed to push it through. And that could quite definitely pop out and come out while using it, although I can't physically do it now, but it could definitely come out. Now I can't even get my fingers under it to get it out. There we go. And I dropped it on the floor. Back in a sec. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, when we're looking at the camera here, the pin on the frame here, this little pin, sits behind this little ledge here. This little ledge here. Now, for some reason, they have a casting bump right here. That silver bit is a bump in this casting. Now, that bump is there intentionally so that you have to push your slide pin up into the half moon for it to unlock. But unfortunately, that casting there seems to be the exact point where this pin sits, which means it's not got this spring pin sitting behind this ledge, which is all it is required to stop it from popping out. So, as you can see on this pistol, I cannot push it out, no matter what I do, unless I bring the slide back to that half moon, and then push it up a fraction, as you should do, and then out it comes. So what's different about the slide pin that pops out and the slide pin that doesn't? Well, it's as simple as, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but using a Dremel with a cutting blade on it like this, I have removed a little bit of meat so that there is a deeper groove where this casting bump is, so that this pin sits in this groove and doesn't allow this just to pop out from underneath it, because this ledge here is supposed to be underneath this pin, locking it in. So all I'm really doing is using this 1mm blade like this to cut a channel, not even a millimeter deep. It's half a millimeter deep, so that this little spring retainer rides in this channel, so that you have to quite positively and intentionally push this pin out, and you'll hear it click in. So that has got a very positive click. It's even hard to get out by finger when you come back to the half moon. You've got to do it correctly to pop it out, and maybe even use a tool to get it out, because it is under a nice little bit of tension to hold it in nice and firm. So that's the two little basic changes that you can do to your 2011s for your slide retainer pin to stop that one coming out, and then also to be able to stop your fire select from coming off, your safety from coming off. I hope that helps. You'll only find that this will be an issue on the Black Dragon, and it's only an issue quite simply because the fire select and the safety are not joined. Normally when you're working with a 2011 that's ambidextrous, when you flick up one side, both sides move. So they're actually retained by a joining in the center. On the Black Dragon, you have the safety on one side, and then you have the fire select on the other. So you cannot have them adjoined. And making the minor adjustments certainly fixes minor issues. Thanks a lot, guys.